Welcome to the Dice Tower, a video podcast about board games and the people who play them. This is a special episode of the Dice Tower in which Tom and Melody Vasel talk about their top 100 games. And now, here are your hosts, Tom, Melody, and Holly Vasel.
Welcome to the Dice Tower! Hi, welcome to the Dice Tower. We're going to talk about two more today.
Yeah, numbers 4 and numbers 3 of our top 100. Let's go do it!
I like this game because you're making a funny superhero.
Yes, Number League is an educationally fun game, which is really strange. Let's show you a little bit about how the game works. As the game works, you're putting together different superheroes on the table. So here's the superhero head, and each superhero will have a head, legs, and a torso. And you're putting them together, and once you do that, you will take the numbers on that superhero, and that's his value. For example, here there's a 4, a -2, and a -1. So this superhero has a value of 1. And in case we wanted to know more about him, this is Pure Magic Mindstorm. That's his character. Or later on, maybe he's Pure Granite Mindstorm with a value of 8. Well, why do you care about their values? Because you'll be using these guys' values to capture different criminals. For example, Melody shows a criminal here with a value of 24. So you need superheroes who you can put together to equal a value of 24, and then they can capture that criminal. And there's all different kinds of monsters of different numbers. And we're also including the expansion, which added decimal points and a few multipliers. And so the game teaches basic addition, subtraction, and multiplication. And also just using skills, trying to get different numbers together. And all that with some great artwork and putting these characters together, which is really a lot of fun. And as you put them down and you change the different pictures, everyone just gets a kick out of how funny they look, how silly their name becomes. All right, let's see. What is this guy at this point? This is Sizzling Winged Raider, the Sizzling Winged Raider. And it's good. I'm glad to play it. I'm glad because the kids learn math from it, but at the same time, they're having a lot of fun. The highest I think this game will ever make it, if only because I love my 3 games in the top so very much. But my number 4 game is Battleground Fantasy Warfare. Battleground Fantasy Warfare is a concept which, when I first saw it at a convention, the guy said, "You want to see this game?" I looked at it and thought, nah, it doesn't really look like it's up my style. I was tired of miniature games. But he said, "This is a miniature game with cards," and I said, "I'll look at it later. You know, let me look at a few decks, I'll play them and see if it's any good or not." So I played it and I was instantly hooked. There are several things I like about Battleground Fantasy Warfare. One, you can have as many cards as you want, and it takes up this much space. I have 10,000 point army right here in this box. This is the High Elves. Here's Umenzi. Here's the Undead. Here's Hulkos. Here are the Orcs. And I got 5 more of these boxes somewhere else. And that is 10 armies of huge amounts of points worth. And if I wanted to keep that, I can keep it in one small shoebox as opposed to spending half a room. I don't have to paint these. No one laughs at my painting. I don't have to worry about taking care of them, making sure they don't break. They're just cards. It also means they're cheap to buy. But the game itself is also a very well done one. I put down my forces, I move them around the board, I attack everybody else, I give each of my units commands and they go move. You know, I don't mind if it looks chintzy. I have the terrain here in this pack. There's a whole campaign setting now. There's monsters and mercenaries, Rome versus Carthage. But the sheer variety in making armies up. I've always wanted to play massive miniature battles. This game allows me to do so for a fraction of the price, for a fraction of the room, and a good game beyond that. Give your pieces orders. They will move following those orders until told differently. So it's moved up to my number 4 spot, probably the highest it will ever go, but it is a great game. It's one that I will gladly play with people anytime, and that's Battleground Fantasy Warfare.
I like this game because you're trying to keep bunnies alive.
You're trying to keep them alive. Why? What do you need to get to win this game?
Carrots.
Right, and basically the goal of this game is to get as many carrots as you possibly can, because at the end of the game, you're going to draw 1 carrot, and whoever has that carrot wins, which means even if you get 1 carrot, you have a chance at winning. And Kinder Bunnies is a smaller version of Killer Bunnies. In fact, right now, Melody's Kinder Bunnies game doesn't even have any of the Kinder Bunnies rabbits in it, because I have stolen all of them and stuck them in my game, because I wanted more bunnies in my Killer Bunnies game, and you're allowed to mix and match them. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if next year Melody doesn't mention Kinder Bunnies, because I'm going to start teaching her how to play Killer Bunnies, which has a whole lot of, variety. You don't think so? You never know. We'll see what happens when you're 10. But a lot of people don't like these games because they're random. And, you can see Killer Bunnies itself didn't make my top 100, but it's still a game that I like. I like being able to say, hey, feed your rabbit or they die, you have to defend against a nuclear reactor. Now, in Kinder Bunnies, you're fighting against safety hazards. But there's still things like maggots who will get into your cabbage. And the kids are like, oh, maggots. And you can still buy, and there's all different things that you can do with the cards, and the pictures and the artwork is very humorous. And so we both like it a lot. I don't play Kinder Bunnies much. Melody plays it with her friends or such. I rather play Killer Bunnies. But they're pretty much the same game, just one's nicer. Last year was very exciting because of the HeroScape dump, as we know. In my final video, I dumped HeroScape all over the floor to show you how durable it was. I really don't feel like doing that again because it took so long to clean it up. But HeroScape, which comes with figures like this unmarrowed skeleton guy on a horse, to this winged warrior, to this vampire attacker, to this armored guard, to robotic dogs, to Roman archers, to samurai gunners, to gargoyles. Everything is in this game with plastic miniatures fighting everything else, and it's amazing. It's a lot of fun to make the huge 3-dimensional battlefields. I could show you. You can go on the internet and find those. There's their own website, www.heroscapers.com, where all they do is talk about this game. And you think the game will be dead, but each year they manage to publish 1 expansion for it somehow. And so the game is still alive, and I'm still having fun playing it. It looks like a kid's toys game, but it's not. It's more than that. It's a fantastic, fun, huge battlefield. And the best thing I can do is tell you, go to BoardGameGeek.com and go to HeroScape and look at the galleries of pictures, or go to HeroScapers and look. And that should suck you in right then and there. HeroScape, the best game you'll ever buy at Toys R Us. Woo! We're almost done. Almost. Just 2 more. 2 more, number 1 and 2, in our next show. The best 2 games of mine and best 2 games of Melody. Come see us then. Until then, I'm Tom Vasel.
I'm Melody. And I'm Helen.
Oh, almost done.
Thanks for joining us today. For more written, audio, and video reviews, as well as the #1 board game podcast, check out the website at www.thedicetower.com. Until then, this is Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower.